Hello Internet, and welcome to my live reaction for Eden Zero, Chapter 98. When we last left our heroes, things weren't going super hot in the fight against Drakken. He had turned into some weird tentacle cat monster thing, had kind of tied up Rebecca into some bad tentacle porn shit, but she got saved by Homura for a moment, then got captured again. It was really weird. Meanwhile, Pino suddenly had a memory of what Wise 29 told her about Sabir, making her start to, bridge the gap between the two worlds. Shiki had the same thing when Drakken almost killed him with a tentacle gun thing. And the sudden influx of memories of his death in World 29 led to him activating his true overdrive form of the Demon King. So let's jump right into Chapter 98 as we have this little color thing of easy heroines on vacation. The B-Cubers who soar through the cosmos with videos and swimsuits, daring is key. And yeah, we see Rebecca in a very, revealing swimsuit. Lobelia, less so. We also have Homura in another Rebecca outfit and a Pino outfit, a jade sky and a lapis lazuli sea, fully enjoying this Garden of Eden. Another Homura swimsuit. The waves grow quiet as my heartbeat grows ever louder. More Rebecca and Lobelia. Lobelia now the revealing one there. An angel in profile and a goddess's seductive glance. A beautiful woman glows no matter where she looks. And now we have the star shines here. The ties that bind the past and future. The four shining stars and the light of Edens together in one place. Also Pino is there too, looking very adorable over there. Radiate their strong, gentle light. Now we have Rebecca hugging this giant ice cream cone plush. Be bold this summer. See you next vacation. So there are some things for all the straight men in the audience. Hope you enjoyed. Anyway, jumping right into the actual plot, we continue where we left off with Homura and Rebecca caught up in Tentacle Land. Again, not my favorite plotline. Pino, Sabir, Moscow, and Amira running out of the collapsing life support room. The star shines on their mission to destroy the satellite, which I forgot to mention. It's about to destroy Blue Garden. And Shiki, now in his overdrive form. Eden Zero is getting an anime release. If you did not hear, we are still not at the chapter yet. 8 pages in. Which I guess is what the bikini shots were for. Is both to celebrate summer and the announcement of the Eden Zero anime, which I'm not really decided if I'm going to get back to talking about anime on the channel. There's a part of me that really does enjoy not having to, pause to think of a note to write about for the anime. And I much prefer the live reaction format I do for manga. But I might talk about it, and if I do hope the Fairy Tail anime did a lot of, I don't want to say censoring, but, making it slightly more not fan service laden. They cut out 355, I think it was, the awful Hot Springs chapter after Sun Village. They cut out the hot springs in there and made the whole episode work a lot better. Cut out nudity in Urza's torture in Tartaros. So I'm hoping we get some minor edits like that. That don't really affect the story as much. Which, there are some things that are still going to be problems just with the story. I don't know. I'm going to stop rambling and actually get to the chapter. Yay! Chapter 98, Advent of the Demon King. So yeah, we open where we left off here with Shiki, now in his overdrive form, staring down cat tentacle monster Drakken. And Wise looks up at him. Shiki? And Drakken just, yells out, Give it! Give it to me! Give me life! Give it! And he goes to make a punch on Shiki, and Shiki counters it with his own punch, and we see, the huge size difference there. But Shiki still manages to hold him back as, the ground craters around him. And we see, or he's not even a punch, he's caught the punch, like that. And he's, kind of pushed back a little bit, but he's still holding back. And he readies a fist with his other hand. And we see I think this is just the pure ether energy. I don't think he's actually thrown the punch yet, but it's making, the ceiling and the walls all kind of come apart with just pure energy at the execution site. Yeah, he's got a little bit of ether in his stopping hand, but he's not thrown the punch yet. And Wise calls out, Shiki is pulling the ceiling and the floor toward him. He's like a black hole. So yeah, that's what's going on. All the little rubble is starting to like come to Shiki. I don't know if that's going to be good for Shiki, but we'll have to wait and see. Meanwhile, we check back in with the Eden Zero as it's going for the satellite. But Hermit gets a reading on her scanners. I'm picking up a high-density ether reading on Belial Gore. And Witch calls out, from the feel of it, it's Shiki. And Witch comments, an ether gear's critical point, overdrive. And Sister is now comforted in the fact that Shiki has reached that state. As you'll recall, last week she was not happy about them leaving the Belial Gore, but she knows what this means, which means we can focus on this problem. And they start shooting at the satellite, but it's protected by some kind of barrier, which is not good. A protection matrix? This ain't good. We don't blow it up fast, Blue Garden won't exist anymore. We don't have weapons that can break through. Then Witch replies, then it's the main cannon. And Hermit calls out to her, it's been dormant for ages. It doesn't even have half of its energy charge. And Witch starts typing in something. Half will be plenty. I said we don't have half. And she pulls out this kind of cable and like sticks it into her shoulder. We'll use our own ether to make up the difference. All hands connect the SE cables. Now we're back in Tentacle Land, where Rebecca's clothes are being torn off by Drakken's tentacles, because of course they are. Of course they are. And Drakken's little, like, semi-conscious thing. Give it, mine, give it. Homura calls out to her, Rebecca! Grr, I cannot use my ether gear in this state. Homura is also tied up, but not to the same, like, revealing pornographic extent we see with Rebecca. In that case, Happy! And Happy turns into the gun form, of course, and flies into Rebecca's hands. Aye, sir! And Rebecca just starts shooting. Why couldn't she have done that earlier? And with those few blasts, she gets her arms free and can now just, like, spin and take out all the tentacles. And then she shoots at Rebecca, at Homura's tentacles to free her. Homura! Right. And now Homura is free. And the two of them just go to town, sword and gun, all over those fucking monster tentacles. We see one come at her, and she just blows it up, going all at it. Homura is also, tearing him apart. And Drakken, mine, give it. And Rebecca, like, stares down the face that she's been fighting. You are really gross. And then we cut back to Shiki, who is still holding off Drakken's fist. And he kind of glares at Drakken. Wise just looks at him, like stunned, has genuinely no idea what's going on. Drakken continues to, like, try to push back, and all of a sudden there's a flash on Shiki's end. I think maybe his hair is lit up? I'm not sure. But all of a sudden, Drakken's arm disappears, like explodes. Now we come back to the Eden Zero. Starbringer charged at 50%, beginning countdown. And we see the cannon is in the dragon's mouth. 3, 2, 1. And it fires and destroys the satellite. Fire! And yeah, it does really look like this arc is starting to wrap up now. This is kind of, we've had 20 or 30 chapters now of a bunch of bad things happening to the heroes, and this is kind of the big, now we're back on top, this is how we win chapter. And yeah, the satellite is destroyed, which really just seems to have been there to give the Starshine something to do, because it lasted all of 5 seconds. It was barely even, it's not even that the Starshines were doing anything in the fight against Drakken, so it didn't even make that harder for Shiki and the gang. It just gave them something to do for a little while. I don't know. Anyway, the satellite falls. The Starshines are a little weakened, but they're all fine. Hermit's kind of passed out, though. Rebecca and Homura are continuing their fight with the tentacles. Dragon's main body is, like, screaming in pain as Shiki glares at them. The two of them look at each other. And we hear someone say, but why? Why do people on this planet only live until they're 15? Is this Drakken backstory? Are you about to make us feel pity for Drakken, Mashima? Right now, after everything he has done, after 30 chapters of the Belial Gore Arc, Is that where we're at right now? I guess it is. We're guinea pigs. That's what we're made for. Of course our lives are short, duh. And Drakken looks at them, but that doesn't make sense. I want to live longer. And all the guinea pigs around him. You say the weirdest things. You're creepy. What would you do with that much life? 15 years is enough. What would you do with that much life is very, just the idea if he only gets 15 years is definitely, resonant with the fact that he's been alive for centuries now. Anyway, no, I want to live longer, and he, storms off. I know the truth. On other planets, people live for decades. I want to live. Then he starts studying. Alchemy. The secret art of transforming one type of matter into another. If I could change other people's life into my life, then maybe I could grow up and get strong. I can meet people. Lots of them. And maybe I could make friends. No. No, Mashima. No way. Nah, you're not gonna pull out a hero villain parallel this late in the game. Not at the very. Drakken is basically mentally dead right now, right? He's not really still in there. But hold on. Here's actually something interesting though. Because Shiki responds to that memory. You don't have to do that. I'll be your friend. And Drakken, we actually see, is still conscious inside there. He took my memories. He made them fall into him. No. Then the cat's memories. His gravity pulled them in. And they fell into this world? What does that mean? Hold on. Let's take this scene apart. Okay. So let's look at the Drakken backstory. The one thing I want to know is, do people die at 15 because they're experimented on, or have they been experimented on so that their life expectancy ends at 15? That's kind of a minor thing to wonder about, but I have a feeling that this planet where people die when they're 15 will come back later. After Drakken's done, we'll, kind of the reveal of the man behind the man. That's something of a trope. So yeah, there's a lot to wonder about this planet that I feel like will come back later. But then yeah, his gravity, it seems like the word choice, he made them fall into him. No, then the cat's memories, his gravity pulled them in. Hold on. So my first thought would be that he's saying that I think it depends on what he's using with the word no there. Does it mean that, is it just like a no of shock, of anger, no, this can't be happening? Or a no of he was wrong with his initial thing? That he didn't take his memories, that's not what happened. The cat's memories were pulled in by his gravity. Is that what he's saying? If so, we know that Rebecca is the cat, which means somehow Drakken's memories are Rebecca's memories? That would, him pulling in Rebecca's memories to him would explain why he suddenly has memories of World 29, except that was before he went into overdrive. That was what made him go into overdrive, actually. I don't know, I can't piece it together. Anyway, his gravity pulled them in, and they fell into this world, and we see Rebecca's ether gear is activated. Which is, we know her ether gear works with time, so that's probably telling there. You've lived long enough. We're back with Shiki. It's time for you to go to sleep. And he gets this big old ball of gravity on his fist. Magimech attack! Meteor breaker! Kaboom! And it hits Drakken, seemingly destroying. Yeah, it's fully destroyed Drakken, or destroyed the tentacle body. Drakken's original form then falls out of it, the human body, or some kind of water version of the human body falls out of the monster, and Shiki just glares as the chapter ends. Okay, a lot happens here. There's a part of me that will the first thing I do appreciate is Homura and Rebecca largely making up for last chapter as they turn the tables on tentacle monsters and, start kicking ass. It's not enough they still have to have tons of fan service shots in there, so if that's your thing, you get plenty of that. But it is kind of a sudden shift. I'll say that much. It's a sudden shift from like it's goes immediately from there is no hope to victory in a single chapter. And like I do appreciate, as I've said, the final I've known for a while there'd be eventually things have to get better. I was not expecting things have to get better and we win in the same chapter, which is maybe just Mashima has always been kind of a fast-paced author in a lot of ways. Looking back at Fairy Tail and even looking back at this series, Mashima is very fast. Sorry, my Siri just went off randomly. Anyway, Mashima is very fast in his pacing. So, like, it makes sense. That's kind of his style. But I don't know. It's maybe a little bit too sudden. And Overdrive does kind of... Like, I'm not the biggest hater of friendship power-ups, but Shiki's Overdrive does kind of reek of that. So I'm curious how people who like, hated Fairy Tail for his friendship power-ups are gonna feel about that. Let's see. I do appreciate, though, how the narrative tries to, like, set up this kind of we're not so different foil between Drakken and Shiki. And it's the kind of thing that in most mangas lends to, like, forgiveness or reconciliation or a half-assed redemption arc. And Shiki does not go for that. He's like, I'm gonna kill you. You're gonna die. As you've lived long enough, it's time for you to go to sleep. And then he just knocks out, seemingly kills Drakken. Maybe not, because Drakken's body is still there. So yeah, also I'm starting to think that a long time ago, probably like six or seven chapters ago, I theorized that this arc would end on chapter 100. Kind of like how the East Blue Saga in One Piece ended on 100. And given that he's like, it feels rushed, as I've said, the ending of this fight is really sudden. And a part of that might just be because Mashima wants to have chapter 100 be the big ending of Belial Gore. That's one theory. Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot to piece out here. And I'm sure we'll have more answers to it, especially in those about those final moments. Drakken's depictions of the cat's memories, or mentions of the cat's memories. I imagine we'll go into more detail on that in a later date. But for now, that's kind of all I have to say for this chapter, so I'm going to leave this video off here. Hope you all enjoyed the chapter and the video itself. If you did, feel free to drop me a like or subscribe, do whatever makes you happy, And remember, your life is your own, okay? Bye!